Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session. These are the sessions that we do pre-market every day before our trading. We take a look at the market macro to micro, take a look at where our trade levels are going to be, what our targets are, and what our hypotheses are. Before we get going, please read the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and the trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence and your own trade plan. This is a subscription room, so if you do want to find out more about it, we do these sessions each morning. Pre-market, and then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the day. So send me an email to quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There is no website. This isn't a commercial venture. This is just something that I do. And you will need a Skype account because we use Skype to chat back and forth. My Skype address contact number is Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. And of course, there are close to 300 of these pre-market sessions on YouTube. Search for Quantum Leap Futures. You can get an idea of what we do each morning and what our track record is. And if you like what we do, please follow me at Crazy2. So let's get the most important thing out, the news. We got existing home sales at 10 o'clock. And 9:45 we've got flash manufacturing, but the big thing is this Fed announcement, and we've got finally got confirmation that there is a special meeting under the rules. I forget what the rule is, 26.7 regarding public authorization of the meeting. Anyway, they're basically going to talk about determining advance and discount rates to be charged by the Federal Reserve Bank. So they're going to be talking about a rate increase. Now, when they release this information, because this is a closed-door meeting, will come at any time. So we have to be very cognitive of the fact that we have news risk today. So keep everything very tight because this will set the market off. When they come out, if they decide that they're going to raise rates early or they make some harebrained announcement that they're not going to raise rates or whatever they do, this could set the market off. So be careful with that. But what I like to do is I like to start each day with a review of the prior day. Of course, options expiration Friday on November the 20th. We were anticipating a move back down towards that 61, 62. It did not happen. In fact, they took it up. couldn't break out. Couldn't get to that 97.50 target, and then they just sort of bled it off all day till they got down to the range high from Thursday, and then the buyers stepped in. And so far, they've been able to hold it up overnight. We're going to be opening up inside of value and inside a range if we open up where we're currently trading. I mean, we're currently trading right now at 2087.50, and we closed at 2088.50. So right basically where we started. Next thing I like to do is I like to take a look at the macro to the micro view. As always, I just want to get a feel for where we are within the time frames, the trends of the different time frames. I use a simple candlestick chart with a 9 EMA and a 20 SMA, and I'm looking for slope and separation and where the trend is being challenged. Obviously, we had beautiful 2-year trend up, 3-year actually trend up, and then we rolled over in August and September. We closed below the 9 and the 20. We challenged the trend. October took it back. And so far in November, we're holding above the 9 and the 20. And we're getting slope but not separation. Month open is going to be very key and critical for us, in the next few days. 2073. Based on the monthly ATR and the daily ATR, we've basically got what? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trading days left this month. We have not hit critical mass. It's going to be tough to hit critical mass because we're trading right now only about 13 points above our month open. So really critical mass might come into play, but we can't even start thinking about it until the end of the week. Remember that this is a holiday week, so the move will be made. If there's a move to be made, it's going to be made today or tomorrow, and I think we then on Wednesday and Friday we'll most likely just see drift in whatever the direction is. Now, typically, the stat that I've been watching, the last week and this week is the fact that historically, when the year is positive to date into October, and October has a greater than 5% increase, that November historically has never, had a negative month. So if you go with that stat, we should close somewhere above 2073. The average median gain in November, based on that stat, is 2.3%. So that puts us up into the 2120 area. Just saying. Don't know if it's going to happen, but we got to pay attention to it. So the trend is still intact on the monthly. On the weekly, same thing. We had this downward trend. They took it back in October, and so far we're holding above the 9 and the 20. We came down and tested it 2 weeks ago, but then they popped it right back, took all the negativity out, took back all the losses, and we've got start of a possible upward trend on the weekly. On the daily, same thing. We had strong trend up. They rolled it over. October took it back, and November's held it so far, and we're getting slope but not separation yet on the daily. Going into the intraday, you can see that the intraday, the 4 hour, has been very strong. We've just been stair-stepping this up, creating a tech gap, closing the tech gap, holding the 9, creating a tech gap, holding closing the gap, holding the 9, creating a tech gap, coming down, testing the 9, and so far holding it. We are losing slope and we are losing some separation, so there's a little bit of weakness coming in here, but it is still intact. We don't violate the trend until we get below that 2079, 2080 area. Going to the 1 hour, a little bit different story. We basically got consolidation sideways right now, and we're seeing some weakness coming in with us below the 9 and the 20. Going to the 30-minute, same thing, consolidation, no real trend, but we're seeing some weakness coming in. So as we move down in the time frames, we are seeing some weakness, but we still haven't violated. Now, there's a bunch of naked crosses below us. So let's just do a quick review from the 4 hour, because those are the most important right now. We've got this one down here at the 2040 and a quarter. Then on the 30-minute or the 1 hour, we've got this one way down here at 2049 and a quarter. 49 is 75 is going to be a very important level for us. And then on the 30-minute, we really don't have one. And then on the 15-minute, we've got this one right here, just below us at 2085.50. This is most likely to get taken out this morning. And then on the 5-minute, all right, we've got one down here at 2084 and a quarter. Do a study, 9 EMA over the 20 SMA. When price moves away and leaves the naked cross, it's very rare that remains. Like, here's a good example. Here's one right here. We came up and finally closed it out at the 2090 area. So taking a look at the big picture, couple things I want you to pay attention to. First of all, we're right back in balance. This is the micro composite that I've been watching. It goes from February 5th through to October the 19th or August the 19th. We came back up. We're inside it now. The current composite VPOC, or the most traded price going all the way back to 2013, is 2078.50. The current micro composite VPOC is running at 2080.50. Now, previously, our composite VPOC was up here at 2084 and a quarter. I'm watching today and tomorrow if this gets shifts. If this does not shift, we come down here and we trade an 84 and they don't find buyers and we don't get the shift, then look for that bigger move back down to 78. Key levels right now in this area, because we've got undetermined fair value, this is much more mature on the Globex. This composite right here is just the RTH session, just the day session. But on the Globex, we have a much more mature or a better Gaussian distribution showing that the 78.50 is the dominant price acceptance, long-term price acceptance. So we're likely to get a move back towards that and confirm that as we mature this RTH composite. Now, the older long-term value area high is up here at 97.50. You can see that this new shorter time frame microcomposite is in agreement. The value area high here that goes from the 22nd through till Friday is the value area high is 96.75. So basically our shorter time frame and our longer time frame value high is up here. If we get above 97.50, then we're in price discovery and they will most likely go up and test those 2100s again. And I've got targets at the 2103, 2105.50, 2110 and a quarter, 2117, and then of course the 2120, which is my target for the monthly stat I was talking about, and then of course 2134, the all-time high, and possibly even higher. Still could do that this month, and I'll show you why in a minute. Below us, if we get below, the first key line in the sand for me is going to be down here at 74 and a quarter. If we get below 74 and a quarter, then we've got this, this blunt area, multiple distribution, or what I call undetermined fair value, and I'd be looking for a move down into the 2067.50 as my big target below. Why? Our 20-day average true range right now is running at 24.96, or call it 25 points. Our high overnight is 20.92.50. Take the average true range. We have range without getting into range extension down to 2067.50 today. On the upside, our upside ATR target on the daily off of the low overnight of 2081.75 is up at 2106.75 or 2107. So we have range today, okay, without expanding or going into a trend scenario of going up to 2107 or down to 2067.50. Which way we're going to go, or will we go, I don't know, but you always have to be aware of where the possibilities are in terms of range for the day. The next key level for me, of course, is going to be the year open at 2055. Don't forget our month open, okay, is also just below the 74 and a quarter at 2073. But the next key line in the sand for me below that, where I think we really see a bigger retrace, is down here at the 2049.75. Below 24.97, 2049.75, I think we're going to get a bigger move down into the 21.8 or 2018 level. Our weekly ATR is running at 73.76. So based on the overnight high at 92.50, or our weekly high right now at 92.50, we have a average true range, a 20-period weekly average true range of 73.76. That could take us down into the 2018 75, which is our downside weekly ATR target. So we've got range, this week to go down there. The other thing is, off of the low so far, our weekly ATR target to the upside, believe it or not, is 21.55.50. So that's a lot of range to deal with without getting into range extension. So just be cognitive of that. Okay, so let's take a look at the overnight and then start moving our levels over. Of course, right now we have, I thought it was 2081.75. The overnight low is 2082. So basically, our overnight low is sitting one tick above the range low from Friday. Our overnight high, 92.50. And we've got a pretty nice Gaussian distribution here overnight, and 87.75. Which is basically one tick above the VPOC from Friday, and just below our close from Friday, which was 88.50. No real LVNs here. We've got a nice Gaussian distribution, a little bit toothy, but overall pretty balanced overnight. The inventory is neutral. So no imbalance coming in terms of inventory and traders being net short or net long. So here we are opening up inside of range and inside of balance. I'm expecting a rotational day, but we do have that news that could come out at any time. So just watch for the breakout. And I think the trade levels today off the open has got to be the 85.50 value area high. It's got to be the 91.50. There's really no edge in here. Okay, we're currently below the week open, but we're in value and balance. I think my main hypothesis is we're going to see some weakness in the beginning of the day and then possibly rally. So I'm looking for a break below the 85.50. If we break the 85.50 even before the RTH session opens, I'd be looking for them to move down, and I'd target this 83.75 as my first target, but I'd be looking for them to come down and take out the overnight low and test Friday's low down here at 81.75. Just below it, you've got that micro composite. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you is I've got this micro composite going from the 16th, but if I bring in this last area where they accepted price before they broke out with the significant breakout candle here, if I bring that value in, it changes the developing value area high Why is it? It's not going to show it, but it's hard to see because the VPOC's right there. But the value area high, if I bring that first distribution of price acceptance above the breakout, we broke out of this value down here, right? Accepted value here at 95.50, accepted it here higher at 07, and then just before we launched and broke back into this older term value area, the price acceptance was here down at the 21. So if I bring that in, because we came down here and tested it already once, the value expands and gives me value up to 2103.50. And to me, that's significant. But because I'm watching because we've already been down to this value once, and because I'm watching the older, longer-term value, sorry, that's not supposed to be like that, I've only using the breakout candle and showing me that my value is right in line with the other value. But I wanted to show you that to give you an idea of, and the two reasons is that it coincides with the value that we were in before and the failure of the breakout up to that 2110 and a quarter fractal high, and the fact that we've already been down to test this. Sorry, I erased that. I've got to put it back in. We've already, we've already come down once to pick up buyers here. And so when we come down again, I'm not expecting it to hold. I'm expecting it to expand down, probably down into this area. We still have the gap close down here at 08 area, and the next level that I expect them to test down here at the 2007. Hope that makes, if you ever have questions about how I look at where we're trying to hold value, where we found value, just ask me the questions. I love to talk about it. So right now, though, the value, regardless whether it's from the first accepted value or from the 16th where I'm drawing it, you still get the most traded price at 20.80.50. So if we break below the 81.75, I can use this as a trade level because I've got that target at the 80.50. And just below that, I don't think that 80.50, I want to be in and scaled by 80.50. So I want to take the break of 175, get in, lay off risk, target this 80, get that scale before 80.50, and then look for the continuation because we've got the major number down here, the most traded price at 78.50, and you've got a naked gap down here at 79.50. So if we break down here, I believe that we're going to come all the way down into this 77. There's no trade area here. The next trade area and the first key line in the sand for me today is going to be the 74.25. Because if we get below that, then we're getting out of this distribution up here and we're getting into this triple distribution or undetermined fair value, and that's where I'd be looking for a move down to test the month open. And once we're below the month open, the sellers get excited, the bears try to push it, and I'd be targeting the 70.50. Why 70.50? 70.50 is the last price where they tried to hold inside of this value before it broke down, okay, and broke out of value back on October the 20th. So 2070, and then below that, our daily ATR target is down here at the 67.50. There's the CHVN just below us at 66.50, and then a move below that would take us down to the naked VPOC and our FOMC number, where I was looking for us to move back to on Friday. And then the next support comes in at 60.50, below 60.50. I think they'll push us down to the year open, with the first target being at 57.25. And then below the 52, I'm looking for this 49.25. Still got a naked VPOC there, still got the naked close there. It is a key CLVN. This is a key line in the sand. I moved it down to 45.25. Last week I'm moving it back up. I'm just going to use the 48, make sure we're below it, and we've taken these out because they might just come down, take these out, and rise back up. And then below there, we've got the 45.50 as a target now instead of a key line in the sand. And then 41.36, 30.25, 27.25, and then our weekly ATR down here, and that next big target, which is the 2075. All right, that's to the downside. To the upside, if we get above the 91.50, then I think they're going to go for the range high at the 2050. I'm sorry, the 94.50, and then above the range and above value, then I think they're going to test that key line in the sand above, and then of course our targets up here are 2100, 2103.50. That might cause a VPOC and the value area high if I bring in that small little price acceptance after the breakout. And then our daily ATR target is running at 2106.75 with 0850. 2111 is supposed to be 10.25, and then above there 1550. Next key line in the sand above 17, anything above 17, I'm looking for a run up into this 2134. Our weekly ATR target's way up here at 2155.50. So if we get into the 2100s, we've got the possibility of a holiday drift up as far as 2155 without getting into extension of range. Okay, I got a lot of stuff I covered. I hope I didn't lose anybody. Currently, we're below the Keltner, below the 24-hour VWAP, trading 25.50, testing this area. If they break here, even coming into the open, I think you got a decent short, at least into the 84.25, 83.75. Our Keltner lower line is down here at 81.75. That takes us down to test the range low and take out the overnight low. Above the 87.50, a move up to test the upper Keltner is going to take us up into that 93 and take out the overnight high and possibly test the range high. Going to be a tough open this morning, so be patient. Don't get sucked in. Don't get chopped up. Gold. Gold is popped up this morning. I'm still running. I got into a gold long last night. I got funded. I first took the 20. I want to show this to you because I think that this is important. Last night, I front ran, and this goes as a great story. Okay, it tells you why you don't front run your own setups. I have my favorite setup which is a FUBAR, Mr. Sneaky Tech Gap. I use it on the 15-minute in gold, and of course I front ran it last night. I got long 20, 70, 30 on a single contract because I was front running. I always lighten my risk. When I'm front running. But then it went down and I took some heat and I ended up getting long down here at the 2067.30 and then I got funded. But look at, I front run this thinking, okay, I'm gonna get a FUBAR, okay? There's the FUBAR with the volume spike and the big buying tail, and then I get the Mr. Sneaky, and then to get the gap closed. Well, look what happened. They took it down even lower, put in another FUBAR, but then I got the Mr. Sneaky. So if I would have waited down here, I wouldn't have taken. I took about $400 worth of heat on this trade last night. Probably even a little bit more. But the point of the matter is, there's the FUBAR, there's the Mr. Sneaky. Closed the tech gap. I did get funded, and then I've been running long, and I've held this overnight. And hopefully I'm hoping we're gonna get a spike in gold today, and I'm looking for them. I thought we were gonna get here and get above the 73 on the composite, the 73.20. This is a very key long term. This composite goes all the way back to 2008, and the price rejection in this area is pretty strong, and I'm hoping to get back above here. If we get back above here, then I'm looking for a slow grind up, all the way up here into the 1095 and possibly coming up to test the 1100 level. First target above, of course, is going to be the 78. Second target above is going to be the 87. Third target, or main target right now, is 95. And then if we get above the upper side of that distribution and get above this price rejection, the CLVN, then I'm looking for a move up into the 1106 and 1114. So that's what I'm looking at gold. If we can't get above here and we break below the 65.30 or the range low that we put in, then I think gold goes into a free fall and we get a much bigger move back in gold. So that's what I'm looking at. We're trading 86.50, 86.75. We did not break below, that 85.50. What was the low here? Low is 85. So we didn't get a clean break. And they're bouncing, and we're opening. I'm going to probably open up in value and in range. As always, trade well, trade safe. Oh, Marvin's radar last night. Sunday night, gang, at 9 o'clock. I know I missed the last week, but you should keep that time open because we had a great session last night. There was only 4 of us in the room for most of this session. Howard came in a little bit late, but we had a great discussion of what we were looking at for the weekly. So It's unfortunate you guys missed it. Oh, one last thing I forgot I wanted to cover. Told you I had lots to go over. Geometric. Right here, I've got my longer term weekly fork, downward sloping fork. I've got my daily upward sloping fork, and then I've got the 4-hour downward sloping fork. Right here is an energy point down at 2067.75. That just happens to be where our daily ATR target is. So that's an energy point there. There's one here that is due tomorrow, and then one here that is due on the 30th, so next Monday. So, but right now we are holding above the longer term downward sloping fork upper line. We're holding above the longer term upward sloping lower line. And right now we're holding just above or just outside of the downward sloping smaller time frame. So if we break out, we've got, extension and that possible move for the November stat to come up, and our weekly ATR gives us room here to come up and test the the center line of the upward sloping fork. If we get back inside of the longer term fork, okay, we could get a move down here into the 2019 area. That just happens to be right where our weekly ATR target downside 2018.75. So you can see how the geometrics fit within the profile, which fit inside of the range, the average daily and average weekly range. And it's kind of, I don't make this stuff up, man. It's there. It's all, you just have to do the work. And it gives you some very strong targets and possibilities and probabilities. Anyway, I'm done. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.